Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Morning, and it's a victory Monday morning. How you doing this morning, Ken?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning, buddy?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal football-wise.
Oh, yeah. I say there's nothing better than starting off the day with a grape crush, huh?
With a grape crush. Yeah, actually, there probably is, because I don't know about drinking a grape crush for my morning drink in the morning. I'll stick to my coffee things. Wait a minute. See this stuff right here, liquid gold.
See, this is what you're supposed to drink after kicking the Vikings' ass.
Yeah, whatever.
And I mean kicking their ass. It's bad. It's bad when the backups come in and you still don't get nothing done.
Good morning, Fred. Good morning, Cam. Of course, Cam is happy. And Cam, Cam was with us yesterday on House Hall when we were seeing oh my God, we literally have no linebackers. No linebackers at all. I mean, all our linebackers were out yesterday. We had a guy we literally just signed off the street earlier in the week, and a guy who's been hurt, and they just said, look, you got to play. And he played, right? And they did really good, surprisingly good. And the Bears pulled up the win against the Steelers, which has a lot of people mad. And I like to say to all those people who said on the shows, I was like, well, the Bears have no chance, blah, 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 blah.
Well, to be fair,
buddy.
I said you had no chance if it was Rodgers. If it was Mason Rudolph, I gave the Steelers no chance.
No, I'm not saying to you. I'm saying these other people, these other haters out there who keep week in and week out, oh, the Bears, maybe they'll win. John Doran, the Bears are going to win 5 games this year. 8-3, buddy. I'm already good on the season. I'm within my window of prediction of what I thought they'd win. So guess what? I'm good. 8-3. Oh, by the way, retain first place for another week. That hasn't happened in our division in a month. It was a rotating thing every week. It stayed the same.
I was going to say we had first place for like 2-3 weeks.
Listen, clear the wax out after you take the earphones off. It's the last month. It's been a rotating thing every week. We broke the cycle. Everyone stayed the same. The Vikings are not mathematically eliminated. However, I will give the Lions some prop because you have mathematically eliminated the New York Giants from playoff contention. Congratulations, Detroit.
And man, after all that shit, and I mean all that shit that Lions fans talk that, oh, Green Bay only beat Jameis Winston by 7 points. We didn't get taken into overtime by Jameis. We didn't need Gibbs to get a freaking miracle touchdown just to bring the game into OT.
Hey, none of you guys had to face Jackson Dart. Just saying. I mean, we can play those spoo-poo games all day. But, no, look, and so yesterday kind of played out in some ways how we thought. In other ways, maybe not. Green Bay should have won. When I said last week, Green Bay should win the game, but it was a game that could have been an upset.
I was going to say you were giving the Vikings a huge chance in that one.
Well, because they had played well against the Bears, and Gennard was coming back, and your offense had been sputtering. So that game was massively important. Just got out of hand for the Vikings really quick, and they just spiraled themselves right out of the season. The Lions had a tough game, a tough out with the Giants, and we know the Giants have played everyone really tough. The Bears had a good game with the. Thank God it didn't come down to a last-minute score. It came down to the defense doing it and getting a stop, and they did. Bears built a nice little lead there for a minute, but they didn't let the defense actually held. So that was nice. I mean, good morning, fellow winners. So the playoff picture now is very interesting in the NFC. And the 1 seed is the 9-2 Rams, who are now the Super Bowl favorites. The Eagles, my next opponent for Friday, are 8-3. The Bears are 8-3, and the Bucks are still leading the NFC South. Thanks to, be ready for this one, a better record than the Panthers. The wild cards right now are as follows. At the 5 spot would be the Seahawks, who are in first place in the wild card race. The Packers at 7-3-1, a half game behind them of the Seahawks and the Bears. And the Niners are 7-4, who own the tiebreaker over the first team on the outside looking in, the Detroit Lions. Now, the Panthers play here, tonight? If they win tonight, it gets even more interesting, but they will still be a half game behind because even if they go to 7-5, obviously they have the extra loss, so they go a half game behind.
No, I was going to say Tampa
next Monday.
5. If Carolina wins, they're going to be the ones leading that division.
Yes, they would actually. That's right. They would. Yep. So, but right now the Vikings are 4-7. They're pretty much done. They're 3 games behind the outside looking in leader being the Lions. It's interesting. The Lions, believe it or not, don't even have a playoff spot as of today. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, no doubt. Baker, man, the dude tries, but
man, yeah, I gotta say though that the Cowboys just made your game coming up against the Eagles on Friday a hell of a lot harder. Because now the Eagles are going to be coming out for vengeance after losing to the Cowboys.
Not really. I mean, look, the Eagles have been the Eagles all year. I mean, I always like that, though. It's always a fun argument. Oh, this team's going to be mad because they lost. Oh, this team's going to be on a high because they won. It's like, whatever. But
we see that come to fruition so many times, though.
Yeah, but it goes both ways, though. Well, the Bears are riding a high thinking they can beat anyone because they have been beating everyone lately. So, okay, whatever. So the Eagles are going to be mad because they lost. Well, the Bears are going to be thinking, hey, we can beat the Eagles because we just beat Pittsburgh. So there we go. They kind of cancel each other out. Yeah, Joe's going to be really upset that Chip Kelly's gone. This weekend's game or Friday's game, it hasn't really changed much for me in terms of, the Bears defense needs to be better. The Eagles offense needs to be better. Both those units are a little dysfunctional. As Paul points out for the Eagles, I think the Bears defense took a step forward yesterday with practice squad guys coming up and playing great games. Nahshon Wright has worked himself into a contract extension, NFL leader for interceptions right now with a big interception. He had a couple big pass breakups too. So, yesterday when we were looking at the injury report for the Bears, we saw no Jalen Johnson. We saw, no Spider-Man. We saw no Edmonds, no Edwards, no Sewell. And we're like, oh my God, there's no linebacking core. A couple of these other guys we've been out without for a couple of weeks or whatever. But it's like, wow, kind of like Detroit last year, next man up. And that's what the Bears did yesterday.
Jim, no, what I'm saying is Green Bay will take back first after they kick your ass on Thanksgiving.
I'm hoping for another tie.
No more ties. We've seen enough of them.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, whatever. They still won, dude. I mean, I don't care. Oh, the only reason we won is because we fumbled the ball too much. Oh, so you still lost because you fumbled the ball.
So wait a minute. They caused you to fumble multiple times, and you usually lose games where you fumble a bunch.
I mean, it's like, come on, man. These excuses are pretty pathetic across
Jim,
the board.
That's the voices in your head from drinking too much Flint water.
So tonight we got the Panthers and the Niners. Man, big game. Big game tonight. It really
I actually really wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers do win. Yeah, Brock Purdy's back and all that, but let's not forget, he ain't been around for too many of these games. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's got a little rust to knock off. Not saying he can't knock it off for like the first half of the game, but there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve again.
I tell you what, it's going to be interesting the way the playoff picture is looking right now with this division, for the top 3 teams, all within a game of each other. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how that Packer tie is going to impact it too. That tie with the Cowgirls, because it'll always still be the Cowgirls to me. Great video out there done by an Eagles fan this morning that my buddy Steve makes our coffee sent me this morning. It was kind of hilarious. But like, you know, as soon as you think you have a handle on what's going on this season, you don't. I mean, people, you know, look at 5 weeks ago, we're like, oh, the Lions are gonna, you know, the Lions are the best team in the NFL. They're gonna win this division.
I mean, to be fair, you were the one saying that, not me.
Okay, whatever, Ken. A lot of people were saying, hey, the Lions are looking like the best team in the division right now. They're looking like they're going to win a lot of games. They're looking like they're going to, you know, take this division again. And then they kind of shot themselves in the wee-wee. Then we're like, oh, the Packers are looking pretty good with Micah, but then your offense sputtered. Oh, the Bears have no chance. Oh, wait, they won another come from behind. Yeah, look who they played. Oh, wait, they won another game. Oh, yeah, well, they won't win this game. Oh, look, they won another game. So, I mean, it's just kind of funny the way that this season is going. But here we are, you know, through week 12. The Bears are 8-3, which not even Bears fans, we were saying we'd be 8-3 at this point, I don't think. A lot of us, like I said, you know, we'd win 8 to 10, maybe 11 games. I mean, I'd be somewhere close. I mean, at the break, I figured we'd be 2-2, and we were. Through all 3-1 or 2-2. We've lost some games that I thought we'd lost. You know, most Bears fans had us losing the Ravens game before the season. During the season, we changed our tune and said, "Oh!" And then, of course, we got, you know, the Ravens said, "Oh, by the way, we're healthy today, so we're going to be healthy and beat everyone." Great, and they've been a buzzsaw. Believe it or not, the Ravens are first place in their division now. They went from a 2-win team to first place in their division since that Bears game. They are hot.
Let me tell you, most of the Steelers fans that I know, that calling for Mike Tomlin's head is getting louder and louder. That whole thing of, oh, he'll just finish out his contract next year and they won't re-sign him. That might not be the way it goes. He might just get straight up fired at the end of the year.
I mean, look at here's the thing about yesterday. You know, history's a shitty argument on game week, right? But after the game week, you can always go, well, look at the history. The Steelers have not won in Chicago since the 70s. I was like, really? Like, I don't think that's a factor going into the game. But after the game, it's just an interesting thing that, wow, they have not won since the 70s in Chicago. They just don't win in Chicago for whatever reason. It's like, now that wouldn't be the reason you would pick the Bears coming into the weekend, right? But I mean, after the fact, it's like just one of those interesting little factoids that drops out. It's like, really?
See, I think that factoid only proves that the Bears have been poisoning their water bottles.
Yeah, right. So I mean, interesting. You know, so Tomlin getting fired. You know, we have a buddy here on the network who has some inside sources. They're all saying they're going to let him finish the contract. You know, look at the fans wanted Tomlin fired last year when they didn't win a playoff game. If they don't even get in the playoffs this year, I think there's a very good chance. I mean, it has to be something they're considering now. Look at here's the other thing though. If you're looking at the available coaches and you're not seeing anything out there that's going to be better than Tomlin in your mind, you don't fire him. You let him finish out the year. I mean, if your only option is going to be Chip Kelly, then you just keep Tomlin.
Man, I don't even think Chip Kelly's even in a conversation for any NFL gig, let alone a head coach. I get what you're saying, but you also got to take into the account the allure of the mystery box. We can go out and get a new head coach, and he could be anybody, even a Mike Tomlin.
Hey, Dorn, I don't know you're taking some drugs right now because of, you know, the health incident, but Bears defense coordinator should be fired. Steelers last and past defense. Okay, so the Bears defense is better than the Steelers defense is what I'm getting from that. Okay. I just don't know what Dorn is talking about there. Which JJ comment? Did McCarthy make a comment?
Oh, right here.
No, that's That's not
That's
a comment, is it? Or is that the comment he wants?
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, okay. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like the second coming that a lot of hey, what's up there, Eric? He doesn't look
Okay, John, just making sure. Just making sure. You know, John's just so used to seeing Bears. That's why he did it. I get it. I mean, look at JJ is having a first year starter season. I mean, 9 picks. I mean, you know, it'd be nice if you could say 9 picks in 9 games he's played, but you can't. He's only played in what, 5? 5 now?
maybe 6 now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, I think they got more issues than just JJ there. I think their offensive line is something. I don't know, Eric. Can you say 2 things, or can you only say 1?
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, he's got to be like the Packers get a tie in there somewhere.
Man, wouldn't it be terrible if that tie is the reason why we end up winning the division?
Well, no, because that means you'd have to beat the Bears twice, and you're not going to do that.
Oh, that'll happen.
Yeah, okay. I look at Lions are frauds this year. The Eagles are beatable. I've been saying that for weeks. I mean, look at they're winning. They're doing what good teams do. Though they're winning close games for the most part. I mean, they just lost one to Dallas, granted. But if you look at their wins, they weren't really like just steamrolling anyone. They're just winning. Oh god, I have a cat invasion here coming on here. They're just winning good games. The tie is going to be interesting. Jim's saying the tie is why you don't win. I mean, look, the tie is better than a loss, not as good as a win. It's kind of like that weird. It makes it convoluted but clean. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you don't have to worry about, well, hey, both teams are 10-7, right? Who's got the tie breaks? No, there's not going to be that.
Where we go down the list of 50 different. Yeah, where we go down the list of 50 different tiebreakers, and now we got to flip a coin.
Yeah, so in some ways it makes it easier, but in some ways it's like, yeah, it's going to be easy. All the Viking fans are delusional and say he was only going to have 4 or 5. Well, I mean, because fans are going to fan. I mean, you want to look at no one's going to walk in the season. My quarterback's going to have 23 interceptions this year. No one's going to say that shit.
Packer fans did when Brett Favre was quarterback.
Well,
that was almost a given, man.
Yeah, but Favre was different. Like you knew Favre was going to lead the league in 2 things: touchdowns and interceptions. I mean, it was like whatever. You kind of took the good with the bad with that one. But I mean, McCarthy, the hype on McCarthy, and I get it. I mean, a national winning championship quarterback, blah blah blah. He's having first year issues, but they have more issues. What I was trying to say before we sidetracked is they have offensive line issues. They had some other offensive issues. Like the receiving core is good. Hawkinson, where's he been most of the season? He's been kind of quiet.
Yeah,
he's been okay. The running game's been okay, but their offensive line has been
The part of their issue, and they were bringing it up on the broadcast yesterday, is that they keep going away from the run. The run has been somewhat successful for them, but they keep trying to shoehorn these passes in with J.J. McCarthy to get him rolling. And right now it's just spitting and sputtering.
So it's funny because every year as we do this, every month as we do this, Ken, I start looking at the game differently, right? Because of the arguments people make, stuff like that. And one is, we have to get the run game running. The run game's not doing anything. Oh, the run. And I look at these teams like, dude, most of these teams average good teams are averaging right around 100 to 120 yards a game, right? Most of our teams in the North are getting that. The Bears had just over 100 yards rushing yesterday. That's probably about average for a team. That's actually your running game was going enough. I don't know. I mean, look, at the beginning of the year, the Bears had no running game. But they could do everything on passing. I mean, the 49ers used to make money back in the day just being a passing team that would occasionally run, right? I don't know if that's the argument.
It's not a philosophical argument of the whole you got to run to set up the pass. It's that the Vikings right now are a better running team than they are a passing team. Do they have a shit ton of receiving weapons? Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
and that's why they're trying to shoehorn it a little bit.
But it's the offensive. But you can look at if they did more short, quick stuff, they could be a passing team again. The problem is, yes, you're not stretching the field with this offensive line, but if you're using those, because what's his name had no catches yesterday. Yeah,
That's how I'm feeling.
Drunk driving boy, drunk driving on the side of the road, parked on the on ramp. He had no. I had him in fantasy yesterday. Luckily, I didn't need him to beat the Vikings fan I was playing, but he had no catches. Like, why don't you just do short crossing routes with him? Do some shorter passing game stuff instead of trying to stretch the field so much. I mean, yeah, dude, that they got their money out of Aiden Hutchinson. Look at Aiden Hutchinson came up big yesterday. You know who else came up big yesterday? Montez Sweat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, actually, how many sacks did Micah have for me for fantasy?
He had at least 2.
Hold on, I'll tell you because I'm going to bring up my fantasy.
Yeah, he was in on a whole bunch of shit.
But, dude, yeah, I mean, Micah's had a good year. Sweat, though, had another 2 sacks yesterday and a strip fumble yesterday, too. Montez has been coming on here towards the end of the year. For as much bitching as Bears fans have been doing about our pass rush, like Montez is starting to get it done. Let me see here. Where is he at? I did start him yesterday. There you go. Micah Parsons. He only had 6.5 points for me yesterday. Did he have a sack yesterday? I don't think he had 2 sacks. Week 12. No, he had 2 sacks. That was all his points yesterday. Yeah, he had 2 sacks. 2 tackles and 2 sacks. I'm sorry. 6.7 fantasy points. Or 8 fantasy points is what he got. Yeah. So he had 2. Montez Sweat had 2. I mean, yeah. Like, I look at this Bears-Packers game is going to be interesting for Week 13 when we each have our little mini bye, right? And then it's funny because the Lions don't get the mini bye. They go back and play the Cowgirls the following Thursday. How often have we seen back-to-back Thursday games?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. And then they get their mini bye. Why? Watt had his sacks. Guys were getting their sacks yesterday.
Shit, and Wyatt not only had 2 sacks, but he also knocked our cornerback Nixon out of the game too when Nixon ran into him. He comes running and hits into Wyatt and literally just kind of falls off of him.
I mean, so, the edge rushers are getting up, but Hutchinson's sack was huge. That saved the game for Detroit, no doubt. That's why the guy gets paid. That's why these guys are getting paid. Like, Montez Sweat is earning his money from right now. Hutch earned his money yesterday for sure. Mike has been earning that paycheck. The problem that we have, I think, with some of these guys, maybe more. Well, all 3 of these guys have the same issue. The rest of their defense needs to step up on their teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the Bears, you can't. The secondary has been playing really well, but the rest of the Bears line and the linebacking core, granted, was a bunch of practice squad guys yesterday, and they did an admirable job. Overall, need to do better with the run game. You could probably say the same thing for the Lions to a degree. Like, their defense needs to pick up some slack in other areas. The Packers definitely as well. So that makes it interesting.
Jim brings up a decent point here to kind of get us off some of the Packers and Bears talk. Is that what'd you think about Shedor's outing in this game here? Now, granted, I was going to say, granted, it was against the Raiders, but it's hard to take it from him. Since
that first touchdown pass was not him, though.
Yeah, we seen how terrible most Cleveland quarterbacks do, and he came out and he had himself a decent game. He's earned the right, in my mind, to start at least another 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I look. He had a good outing. He looked different. That first touchdown was all on his receiver, though, with the yak. But no, they looked good. He looked good, and we'll see. Maybe he needed all of this to bring him back to get it. Sometimes like a player needs to get cut and go elsewhere. Maybe he got that kind of treatment with the way he was drafted, being 3rd string, kind of like being doubted on. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Garrett Miles, 18 sacks already. Jesus.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's been on a freaking tear.
What's the record for sacks in the season?
22 and a half.
Something like that. Yeah, he might break it. He's going to break it. He's going to break it this year. Oh God. Yeah. Well, it wasn't the path wasn't pretty. It was the run after the catch that was more pretty than anything. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Sanders had some nice throws. Look at, I'll say any quarterback who gets drafted by an NFL team and makes an NFL roster has the ability to drop dimes. They do, or they wouldn't be there. Right? They have some ability to drop some nice passes, or they wouldn't be there at all. Right? They all do. Mitch Trubisky in his career has thrown some beautiful passes. Slash, when he was playing quarterback, Cordell Stewart, for those who don't remember Slashes, threw some beautiful balls. They all have the ability to throw some beautiful passes now.
I think Josh Rosen has an argument with you, because I've seen most of his passes look terrible.
He would even throw the occasional, like, ooh, look at Penix. Penix do some dimes last year. People are like, oh my God, he's the next coming of whatever. And now look at him, he's a bust. I think I would take the Sanders game yesterday and realize you're playing against a very depleted Raiders defense. Yeah, Cordell was something else. Slash was something else. You were playing against a different type of Raiders team. Let's see how he does against some better competition. But look, it's not to diminish it. It's a promising start for him, right? Yeah, you know what though? Jacksonville being 7-4 is not really surprised, because we all knew they were going to be feast or famine, and they were kind of that kind of team. The Colts, dude, that was a good game yesterday, and really KC really lucked out that and the Colts kind of collapsed at the end of the game offensively. I don't know, that was a good game. I don't know if KC right now for the playoff picture is not in the playoff picture. They're on the outside looking in. Let me see. So right now, the Pats are dude, here's the surprise. The Pats at 10-2 are the 1. Then the Broncos at 9-2. The Colts at 8-3. The Ravens now being the AFC North leader at 6-5. Then the wild cards are the Chargers, the Jags, and the Bills, all at 7-4. The outside looking in are the Steelers at 6-5, the Texans at 6-5, and then at 10 are the Chiefs at 6-5. And the Dolphins are 11-4-7. They're the best of the bad teams at AFC, so to speak. They're probably out, but the Chiefs are like the 10 spot right now. Like, they got a lot of work to do, and they lost some big games that are going to be their tiebreaker games. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know, Fred. Yeah, I mean, dude, that is surprising too. The Panthers being tied for first right now is pretty darn surprising. I mean, it is and it isn't. Look at their division. It's probably more surprising that the Buccaneers have let them get there. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what though? It wasn't as much that they pulled. It's just that the Colts just imploded offensively. But let me see. Oh, here we go. Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's going to happen. But hey, weird things could happen. Yeah, who's going to win? That's going to be an interesting game on Thursday. If the Cowboys win that game, it makes everything in the East a lot more interesting. Yeah, they are. I mean, would that be something if Carolina wins that division? Don't worry, Eric. We'll talk about that game by tomorrow or Wednesday, probably. We'll start talking about the Thursday games. Dude, the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now, probably. And what's great is they got this. It works out. Puka's getting all the stuff between the 20s, and then once you get near the red zone, it's all Devontae. And Devontae's having a resurgence. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, the Bucks got absolutely destroyed last night. That game was over quick. Yeah, he looked and the Sheagles lost. I'm sure that the Devils win. The Devils probably won. Sprained his shoulder possibly for me. Yeah, Baker's out. Dude, Carolina could win that division. That's such a crappy division, though.
Mm-hmm.
Such a crappy division. I mean, you put it. Look, if you put the Vikings in that division, they're still in the hunt to win the division. In our division, they're done. I don't know if he retires.
It might be the smart thing to do. You get to go out like Peyton Manning and ride off into the sunset with your second Super Bowl. I could see it.
Yeah, Elway did the same thing, right? You could do the Elway. Yeah, I mean, how many years is he in the league now?
Oh, it's got to be somewhere between like 16 and 20.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I mean,
Jim says 18.
18? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, he's 37. You could go for another 2 or 3 years probably easily. Yeah, he wins another Super Bowl. I mean, dude's definitely a first ballot, looks like at this point. He's got, he was NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2011, 2-time Pro Bowl. He's a Super Bowl champ. His numbers are freaking phenomenal. I mean, he put 2 guys in the Hall of Fame pretty much. I don't know. Let me see his right now through week 12. He's got a 63.5%.
Who's the second guy? I know Calvin Johnson.
Oh, who was the other one? There was another guy he put in. Who was it? I'm trying to think. Maybe it is just Calvin.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought there was someone else, but maybe it is just him.
And did he put him in there, or Calvin was going to get in regardless of his quarterback?
Most game-winning drives in a single season. He's tied for that NFL record with Kirk Cousins. Most fourth-quarter comebacks in a single season, 8, tied with Kirk Cousins. Most passing touchdowns in a game by a rookie. He's tied for that one with 5. Most pass attempts per game, 45.4 in 2012. Jeez. He's got a 63.5% completion percentage for a career. TD interceptions, 407 to 190, 62,000 plus passing yards with a passer rate of 92.2. Yeah, he's probably a Hall of Famer. If he wins another ring, does he retire? That's a great question. I know that's that's a good question. I don't know, man. What do you think, Ken? I mean,
I was going to say, at that point, what else are you playing for? You've won multiple Super Bowls. You're an older guy, not like ancient, but getting up there. You've made a shit ton of money. What else is there to do in the league?
Do it again?
I get what you're saying, but I don't know if it's got the same luster. Well, maybe if you got the chance for back-to-back, that'd be the only thing you haven't accomplished.
Because Devontae's a multi-year deal. Puka is on. They got most of their guys. They got. I don't think they're going to have a lot of turnover. The Rams are pretty good about how they manage their roster.
And Bill, yesterday might have been Emmanuel Wilson's coming out party to the rest of the league, and he looked real good. But there's absolutely no way I'm starting him over Jacobs.
Let me see where the Rams are for cap next year. So next year, that's $86 million in cap. But Stafford's under contract. Dotson, Devontae Adams. You got 40 guys already signed for next year. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know why.
If you think you got a legitimate chance to do it back to back, sure. But
I mean,
other
look,
than
next
that,
year he's gonna make. Oh my God, he's gonna make a ton of money next year. His cap, he's gonna make 48 million next year. I mean, let me see how long Stafford's contract goes. Yeah, next year is the final year of his deal. And then they get into all the void years. You know what? I mean, yeah. If I'm him, I'm coming back to make my 40-some million next year and then give it one more run. I mean, God, they have void years on him all the way through 2034. That's crazy. Yeah. If I'm Stafford at 37 and he wins the league and an MVP, I don't think he'd retire. Oh my God, Fred.
Hey, Motown, whoever you made that bet with, can you do me a huge favor and let me know who it is so I can get in on some of these dumbass bets?
I tell you. Yeah, I don't think Stafford retires. I think he would come back. I think he'd come back for another.
Yeah, I was gonna say with hearing that with the contract and that, I could see him coming back then, even if he does win the Super Bowl. Because now it's, hey, let's run it back and try to do it back to back. And if
Bill,
not, my contract's up anyway.
The Pats winning 10-2, winning yesterday, playing like shit against the Bengals. Though I mean, if you get okay, if you're gonna play like shit and get a win, that's the team you do. It's like the Bears yesterday was like, okay, well, all these guys are hurt and they're not playing. The Bears fans were upset that we were without a lot of certain players. Like, everyone's thinking Jalen Johnson was gonna be back and Spidey was gonna be back, and at least one of the linebackers would be back, and none of them were. But it was like, you know what though, if there was a game you were going to not have those guys play, it was yesterday, because you have the Eagles and the Packers and the Lions and that schedule coming up. So you figured, that's what we were saying yesterday. Like if the Bears were going to roll the dice with holding some guys back, yesterday was the day to do it, and it worked out for them. So I mean, with them not playing great yesterday and still getting a win for the Bengals, that's kind of not a bad thing. That's a good thing to say for them. Actually, we played like dog shit and we still won.
Yeah, I was gonna say every team you get has some game where they play like dog shit. Be happy if I'm the Patriots. Be happy that we played like dog shit and still squeaked out the victory.
Yeah, I mean, here's the funny thing. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, because last year, you look at the NFC, right? You have the Lions and the Vikings were destroying the league, and they were one and done in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's going to be a whole nother animal when we get there. Cough ain't doing it. Oof. Ooh, them fighting words there.
I was going to say, I've heard a lot of Lions fans say that. It seems like a lot of the fan base is starting to lose faith in him. Now, granted, you do have the guys that are still backing him no matter what, but I'm starting to hear more and more of them doubting him.
Hey, throw up that last comment because I want to throw up a meme I made for that comment. Nick Sirianni saying all the flags against us, blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? I think every team has that, because here was the Bears a couple weeks ago. Hold on a second. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. You know what I'm saying? It felt that way for Chicago a couple weeks ago. Like it didn't matter what it was. It's like, oh, it's a flag on the Bears. I think every team goes through that, man. So let whatever. The Bears still lead the league, I think, in penalties, or second in penalties. I mean, we still need to clean that up in Chicago, that's for sure. And it was great though yesterday though. So DJ Moore gets a 15-yard taunting penalty, right? It was the most innocuous little ball toss to the guy who just beat in coverage. You're like, oh crap! This tells you how this Bears team is different. Back in the day, it's like, oh, get ready to punt. Very next play, they got 18 yards of it back. Right? They got all 15 yards plus 3 additional. Then the next play, they get the first down. Dude, that's what's different about this Bears offense. The Bears are leading the league in so many offensive categories. It's scary. The last time the Bears had an offense that rated this well was in the 1970s. scary. So I mean, penalties. Good teams can overcome the penalties they get. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and they got the touch on that drive, right, Cam? And because back in the day, that would have been a punt situation, and the Bears turned that into a touchdown. So, and we've seen that. I've seen it with Green Bay in the past. Green Bay gets some bad calls, whatever. Aaron just goes out, and you would pick up the first down. I mean, it's fun to watch this change in Chicago, man. Because back in the day, you're like, a 5-yard penalty. Oh, we're punting. Now it's like, a 15-yard penalty, no problem. Here, we'll get 18 of it back real quick, and then we'll get the first down. Oh, here, we'll just throw a touchdown to DJ. Okay. Bears have gotten too many flags, though, overall. Eagles had 15 called on them. I mean, I don't know what they all were, but because I kind of, was too busy watching other games. But, I mean, some of those are just, illegal formations. Dude, that's on you.
Yeah, and then I got to say, because I was actually paying extra attention in this Packers and Vikings game specifically for this, but I will say I don't know if this is new or if I just haven't been paying attention enough, but I saw Jordan Love audible multiple times in this Vikings game, and almost every audible had worked. And you'd even got people in the guys broadcasting the game sitting there saying that LaFleur needs to open this offense more and trust Love more with the ball in his hands, which I've been sitting here arguing this for a while now, especially since we've been having these offensive struggles. And it seems like now that we are opening it up more, we are getting some more success. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of this going forward in the future.
What I think is interesting, though, and it's a good argument you make, but I think it's an argument you can make for a lot of quarterbacks. You ever notice that there's some quarterbacks that they get in the 2-minute drill where they're the guys, moving the team, calling the plays, and all of a sudden the teams are moving. Or when guys are doing hurry up and it's like the quarterback is just running the offense versus the play call coming in, and they just fly. And it's like there's a good argument for that, but then you get, my God. You get to that point where it's like it works, but it doesn't work. Does that make sense? I mean, I think for the Packers, it's not necessarily that LaFleur didn't open it up. It's that LaFleur probably didn't trust the receivers as much as Love does, and Love has put more faith in them than And maybe there's some of that. Like every so often as a quarterback, you got to challenge your coach and do what Love did yesterday. Say, look, man, it's not as bad as you think. Open it up a little bit. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Now, would this be an argument of going kind of back to some of the old school football of letting the quarterback call their own plays? And I mean, the full game. Yeah. I'm not saying across the board. Yeah. I'm just saying with certain quarterbacks, let's start letting them do this shit. Well, granted, Love is no Peyton Manning, but I'm saying like how Peyton used to do it. Oh yeah, shit! You made Emmanuel Wilson look like he should be a fucking superstar.
Look at this was Pickens has more receiving yards than the entire Steelers team this year. You know what though? I will say this though about the Steelers yesterday. I will say this about the Steelers yesterday. I'll give him a little bit of credit because we thought they were going to go for the tush push for that one. It wasn't a touchdown. He was like a half yard short. And they pulled that it looks like the tush push. Nope, we're going to run it to the outside where there's no one and get a massive 54-yard run out of it, almost at the end of the half there. That was a great call by Tomlin and his staff. That fake tush push, that was good.
Hold on. The only quarterback in this league that you would trust doing that is Stafford. You wouldn't trust Mahomes to call his own plays. You wouldn't trust Lamar to call his own plays. You wouldn't trust Josh Allen to call his own plays.
Come on. Baker does it too. I trust Baker. Yeah, there's I would trust. No, I trust 3 out of the 4 quarterbacks in the NFC North to do it.
Relatively, yeah. I was going to say Caleb has enough experience where I wouldn't be terrified of it.
No.
JJ, I would be terrified of it, but
yeah, that's the only one I wouldn't do it. I think with Caleb and Jordan, I think they could both do it, but they're not. This is not a knock on either of them. They're not as polished as, say, Goff is in terms of like having seen it all, been there, done that kind of thing. So they both probably still have a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, I think they would do a pretty decent job of it. Yeah, you know what though? I get why Rodgers wanted to play, but you know what? I think that Rodgers would have hurt them more than helped them yesterday, to be honest with you. And he could have, and the way that, and look at, we got the Pickens a couple times, and Pickens is more mobile. Or not Pickens, I mean, whatever his name is, their backup was.
Fred, I'm going to have to look for this clip because if this actually happened on a football field, that is got to be so humiliating. Dude, you just got pulled down by your dick.
I think Rodgers would have hurt them more yesterday with the arm. And look at, like, he could have suffered a career-ending injury yesterday had he played with as bad as that offensive line was protecting the Steelers yesterday. Montez Sweat had two actually, he should have had a third one. I don't know how he got away, but he did. How Huntley got away, but he did. He should have had three yesterday. So, Rodgers playing might not have been the best thing. He probably would have gotten hurt in the first or second quarter and been out for the rest of the year. Yeah. So, Rodgers, I tell you what, I think they made the right call on keeping Rodgers out yesterday.
So you're telling me, did he grab his dick and twist? Gave him the old dick twist?
You could say, like, it's not. You could say it's embarrassing because I'll say, look, it's the only thing big enough on me they could grab.
Wow.
That player could turn around and say, hey, it's so big, that's what they had to grab to pull me down. That's what he could say. That's, if that happened to you, that's what you'd be saying. Yeah, well, they went for the biggest thing in my body. So, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, Rodgers always blames someone else. Look at Ken's dying over there.
Oh, man. Rodgers could come back and discover the cure for cancer, and people would still find a way to poo-poo it.
No, but look at Rodgers. I think Rodgers had a little bit of a hand in the game calling yesterday, which was smart. They just they did not. Offensively, the Bears were good enough defensively in the front four to do some things. And Grady Jarrett stepping up yesterday with the pass block, that was beautiful. Montez getting to the quarterback was good. The DBs are being the Bears DBs this
year. Great fucking Deuce Bigelow reference.
Jesus, Luka. Always kind of Luka to have the mind in the gutter. So, I don't know. Rodgers can be mad if they lost the game, and he's mad because they lost to Chicago more than anything. He's mad because has he beaten anyone in the NFC North this year? Have they beat
the Vikings?
Oh, they beat the Vikings? Okay. So, yeah, good game for the Bears. And look at they did.
Oh, absolutely. Deuce Bigelow was one of my favorite movies, especially European Gigolo.
The Steelers did not play a bad. Look at their defense played better yesterday. I think their defense has played in a long time. Like their defense actually played pretty good yesterday. The Steelers they actually kept that team in the game. Their offensive problems have been their offensive problems this year. The Steelers have been, I don't want to say mid, but they've had games where they've looked really good on one side of the ball, the other, and they had games that looked like crap. Yesterday, they were kind of like...
You know what, Ken? I think mid is the perfect thing to describe them because they are so up and down. One week, the offense is playing outstanding. The defense sucks. The next week, the defense is playing outstanding. The offense sucks. And then you get what came out this last week where it was just the defense played okay and the offense sucked.
Look at we took DK out of the game because of the coverage on him was that good yesterday, right? So but their defense stepped up. Their defense scored him a touchdown, right? Their defense stepped up yesterday for the Steelers. So, but yeah, the Bears beat a good team yesterday, or a team with a winning record, whatever. I'm not bitching. 8-3, dude. I'm happy. I am happy no matter what happens the rest of the season, to be honest with you, because this is kind of where we said we should be this year.
Now, hypothetically, not saying it's going to happen, but you would still be happy if you lost the rest of your games for the end of this year.
I mean, with a collapse going 8-9 on the year, I don't think no, because I won't be happy if we get swept by the Packers. We still got let me amend that. We're one game win away. If we at least win one of these Packer games, then for me this year is a success, complete success. Yeah, shout out to 9. Like 8 to 10 was my window. But we got to beat at least win at least one of the 2 Packer games. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they're 12,
I was going to say anybody gets 12 wins, they're going in.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't lose to Cleveland either. Yeah, that's another one. Right there. If we win those 2 games, we're a 10-win team. You know, I mean, and look, I think the Lions game is going to be a game right now. It's looking like that Lions game is going to mean something. And I think Ben in Chicago in the dead of winter is going to be fired up to beat Detroit in week 18.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you played the Lions recently.
We played them in week 2 in Detroit.
Yeah, no, yeah. For some reason, I was thinking it was a couple weeks ago was your second game with them. But
and see, here's the thing: Lions fans, they just remember week 2. Like this Bears team since week 3 leads the NFL in almost every offensive statistical category. I mean, think about it. Since week 3.
Fred, you're right.
Oh,
they missed fucking marketing gold on that.
Yeah. The Bears are 8-1 since week 3. Totally different team that started the season off 0-2. Yeah, I mean they can't look at. I think every game the Bears have in their schedule is winnable. They're all winnable games. They are all winnable. Even the Packer games. The only thing that sucks about the Packer games is that we get 2 Bears-Packers games in 3 weeks. We do. For the Bears, it's what? Packers, Browns, Packers, I think, for us. And what's you guys? It's who you guys got in the in-between games between our 2 games, Ken?
For the in-between game is the Broncos.
So
you know what, Luca? You might not be wrong. I definitely think it was a spooky ghost.
So, I mean, it's hard for any team. It's hard in the division to sweep a team usually, right? But it's even harder when you play a team twice in 3 games. It really is. And Fred, thank you, because that's what I've been saying. It's like this team is not the team you played in week 2. And same for the Packers.
That was my thing of all the Lions fans talking shit to the Bears fans of week 2.
Yeah.
But week 1 doesn't magically matter, but week 2 does.
Right. Okay. So, actually, this Thursday night, this Thanksgiving game on Thursday is going to be fun. Friday's game is going to be fun. I mean, look at the North is going to be in the limelight this week between Thursday and Friday, which means Sunday is going to be really weird because all we can do is watch the Vikings lose.
I like how you phrase that perfectly, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun week of football, but this division, I don't think anyone had the Bears at 8-3 being in first place in late November, but we all had this division being close. We all said there was at least 3 teams. Look, got to give a couple guys credit. There are some guys who called that the Vikings would be in the basement, and they are, in fact, in the basement right now. I was kind of like, flip a quarter for who's going to be what, where, and when at the beginning of the season. And the Vikings have made that detour south. I said flip a quarter, but the Vikings were the team that if they were going to crash, that, was because of JJ.
I honestly thought the Vikings would have been about in 3rd, maybe 2nd place. I was figuring the basement was going to be either the Bears because it took a little bit for Ben Johnson to adjust with the team, or it was going to be Detroit because, again, it took a bit to adjust to not having Ben Johnson.
And we're averaging 1 trick play a game now. Yesterday's trick play was a triple reverse, and it was beautiful. I love Ben Johnson. They're opening that playbook up for him, man. Oh, and the thing too, like, Luke, dude, the Canadian Eagle is out. We had no left tackle. We had our third starting left tackle this year, Trapillo, the second round pick, and he played a magnificent game, dude. I bring it up because, like, when was the last time you could say, like, the Bears and their offensive line could have a guy go down and, like, it's the third starter we've had now at left tackle, and you saw no change, like, perfect protection. It's like, holy crap, did the Bears, like, invest wisely the offensive line last year, or what is it? Like, it is really, like, people want to say what you will about Ryan Poles, man. He built this offensive line this year, and it's been magnificent so far.
Man, I don't know if that's so much Poles or Ben Johnson saying these are the specific type of linemen I want.
Well, I think there's a little bit of both of that goes
because,
in there.
Yeah, your guys' offensive line reminds me a lot of how they were crafting the offensive line back in Detroit when Johnson was there.
You went to your third left tackle to start a game, right? It was a rookie getting his first start and played a great game against, and guess who he was lined up against all game? TJ Watt, for the most part. However, the strip sack fumble was against Darnell Wright, interestingly enough. But yeah, I mean, so good on the Bears, man, getting some depth in the line. And even when Jonah Jackson went down, we had a replacement come in and played great. So the offensive line's been much improved. Now I just need, Montez Sweat's coming on for the defense. We get some guys back from injuries, man. This Bears team, yeah, they're going to be dangerous. And they're still getting better. Ben said we won't even play our best football till December. So, I believe in Ben right now. I think we all have to believe in what Ben is saying because everything Ben has said is pretty much happening.
Man, and I promise you got to listen to the whole way I phrase this. This isn't a dig, but can you imagine if 2010 ends up fucking reoccurring where we get a Bears and Packers NFC championship?
That would be something. That would be something. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are a weird animal because that year you guys went in and beat the best team in football at that point, or one of the best teams in football at that point in Atlanta. So, I mean, the playoffs can be a weird thing. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Broski. That was good. Or if the Lions, Bears, or Lions, Packers, any kind of NFC North, we talked about it. We talked about the last couple of years. I mean, anytime you get that'd be something special. But yeah, I allowed the thought to creep in. Wouldn't it be something the Bears won a Super Bowl this year? Wouldn't that be something?
I was gonna say it'd be something. It wouldn't be something good, but it would be something.
Oh, it'd be great. But I mean, look at this whole thing where we are in the season right now. Like when we were in the preseason, people are like, "Oh yeah, the Bears, they can't win anything. They're not, they're whatever." Look at worst to first happens all the time in this league. So don't be surprised by it. Like I get people, you have your fandoms, but sometimes you have to take a step out and say, okay, objectively, really.
Now, Fred, I definitely haven't looked anywhere near in the statistics to see.
Yes.
Wait, no, yeah, the Giants.
The Giants, 7-9. And they beat the Patriots to do it.
The undefeated at the time Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the Lions might win. Well, I have to look at the rest. We don't have enough time for me to look at their schedule. I mean, I know we got they got the Bears in Week 18, and that could be a big game. And honestly, I don't think that's a good game for the Lions playing it in Chicago in deep December because the weather will be shitty. A good day in December is 20 degrees. Right. So, but the way you got the Lions are playing right now, dude, I would take the Bears over the Lions the way you guys are playing right now. Honestly,
especially if you guys can stop their run, because it seems like that's the entire
that's
Lions
your entire
offense.
thing. And the Bears are pretty decent overall. Yesterday was a little bit of a setback. Granted, we had practice squad linebackers in, but they weren't great against the run, but they were good enough. I don't know if anyone can stop Jahmyr Gibbs with that the way we played yesterday, but. Yeah, and their defense, like Hutch might get a sack, but overall their defense isn't stopping this offense at this point. I think Week 18 could be an epic matchup in Chicago, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Jim, you're not playing to your capabilities. I don't think the Bears are playing their capabilities yet either.
It is
Week 18 could be a great game. What now?
It is that time though.
Yeah. So hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy Victory Monday. Thanks for everyone for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Don't forget JB's next to talk about the Lions on his show. Peace.